claims to be live. I choose to believe it.
I'm gonna burn down the entire internet industry.
Didn't someone try to
Yay.
do that like a month ago on Friday?
Probably.
Yeah. Man, this summer's had a lot of news. This will be
Yeah.
fun to remember whenever we get to the remix episode 121
Whew. In about 20 years.
or 22 or whatever we're on now. Big number. I don't know.
122.
Yeah. But yeah, for anyone who's enjoying the world of remixes and listening to this, as of this moment, we have scheduled 3 more to go up. And all we had to do was fight Sony.
Fight them with my bare hands.
They are very
Yeah.
picky about use of Fate Zero music, but only
Specifically.
sometimes. Only sometimes.
Yup.
But hey, we're here. We're back. That is our
Yeah.
story. Yeah. Who remembers last week?
I think we should all recap our individual sections. Personally.
Yeah. It was a lot.
Do you want to start, or do you and go in
I
the same
mean-
order, or?
Yeah, I'll start. So we all ended up in this thing where we were meeting with our quote unquote future selves, and they were telling us about a version of events where they woke up Morgan. Morgan decided to build Camelot, or no, reconstruct Camelot and use up all of her mana doing so, basically. Oh my god. And then at some point, the butcher showed up with his psychotic servant and was like, alright, hey bitches, I'm gonna blow a hole in this wall and kill everyone you know and love. In very gruesome ways. And people kept trying to like revive people. And then at that point, it switched over to Annis's point of view.
So basically, the same thing happened. Morgan was awoken. She immediately did the thing and brought back Camelot, painting a huge target on her head. The butcher showed up and did something with his eyes to blow a hole in the magical front door of Camelot, which no one thought possible. Then they all, well, first his servant somehow snuck up on Einon, killed him. Then they came into Camelot, where we were, because apparently we thought it would be safer. All of his gross harvesters came in and shot at everyone, and his servants brutally murdered everyone. Targeted Freddy first, who Morgan had turned back to 4 years prior, so he didn't have any combat abilities or knowledge or anything, and still thought we were dating. But anyway, his servant attacked him first, but Derek got in the way, tried to save him, died horribly. Freddy died horribly. Aiden's family, well, Aiden's bird mom died horribly. Everyone else either died horribly or got shot. No one could do any magic against the butcher. It was chaos. Everyone that was still alive escaped on the boat upstream or downstream or something. Upstream. And my servant turned everyone into animals to stop the bleeding, but then some guy in armor came out of the forest of Einosh and stabbed her, and then everyone turned back from animals, and we all went back to the base, and Penelope, Diana, and fucking Buck and Johnny decided to leave me behind and go try to talk to Lucretia and see if she could help us. And they weren't able to use their water magic because Morgan died in the Camelot thing. It was a lot happened. They left me behind and then went off, and the forest of Einosh just grew really rapidly and took over the base. And so Catherine tried to escape with me back up to Sherwood, but she died and dropped the diamond dust, and I got stuck in the Tower of Faces and went slowly insane because I had no way of getting out. Cheerful, fun, everything great. And then it switched over to Aiden, who is muted.
Yeah, I'm unmuting. Hello. So Aiden's point of view, it was just Enon situation. He got a telepathic message where Enon knew who the servant was, but before he could say it, and after warning them to run as fast as they could and get out of there, he was just Enon. Enon was dead. It was like immediately, and I did like a crazy person, tried to warn everybody, but the moment he did, chaos blew apart. Uh, from what Aiden was gathering, it wasn't just magic against the butcher, just magic overall wasn't working, and that could just be an overall statement. Because Aiden was still able to heal people, but nothing else seemed to be working. He wasn't able to try and get an offensive at that time because his hands were full trying to take care of people. When shit went down and the rest of the party had to leave, and they were like, we gotta go. The butcher, being the asshole he is, absolutely provoked Aiden and was like, "Yeah, I could use some new skin, and I could definitely use some wings." And Aiden watched this guy just take his dead mom and his sister and walk on out of there, and that was too much for him. And he thought everyone else retreat, and he said, "I'm not leaving them because Nina's still alive, and that's my mom." So he ran after the butcher. And when he finally caught up, because it was very much you could tell it was a game of him just being out of reach and Aiden just being able to follow, made it to the base, he was able to pop off when he realized the butcher was behind him a guiding bolt, which did in fact hit him. So Aiden has a lot of questions right now he wants to get answered. But alas, future him got hit with an ability that he had come to find out the butcher had absorbed, or at least future butcher absorbed, from the library where he was aged, and then his eyes just shut. And death. He's back to where he is now. That's Aiden's side.
And then Diana.
Hmm.
So basically abbreviated version of everything before. I'm not gonna go over it again. But like they tried to go find Aiden, weren't successful, and then I honestly don't remember all the in between because of lots. But it basically boiled down to that little bitch Clover showed up. Oh my god, he wasn't a statue. Oh my god, he was still doing Inosh bullshit. He captured everybody who was left. Diana, Penelope, Bonnie, and Buck.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically stuck him to trees with some nasty fungus. Did his like monologuing thing. And right now I just realized I'm combining both Penelope and Diana's
That's
sides
fine.
of the story. I just don't care anymore.
They're present for the same events. It's fine.
Hello, tiny kitten. Sorry, a tiny kitten just crawled in my lap. Pretty. Oh god, brain.
They were
Okay,
stuck to
yeah, so
trees.
they stuck to trees. She got him monologuing. Made him agree to let them go if they told, or if they told him everything they know about the Grail War. He agreed to it sarcastically, but jokes on him. Penelope's a tricky little thing. And then, um, then they realized they had been breathing in the spore. Or no, hold on. Johnny was like, "Oh my god, anger," and basically just burned him to a damn crisp. She probably had her origin. That's honestly, you can really from that. Yeah. Burned him up, and then that's when they realized that they'd been breathing in the spores, and oh my god, that's Inosh stuff. And then basically Inosh took over Diana, and she killed Penelope, and like there was the unseen servant that was like basically supervising Clover, and he killed Johnny and Buck. And then yeah, psychopath Diana Einosh situation where she's like, "Oh yeah, this will totally work. This will be what I need to, go see my beloved." And then she's like, "No, you're a bitch," and just um yeah.
Hooray.
Oh, and then after that, everybody was like, "Oh my god, what the fuck just happened?" Crying happened. A giant hug happened. A very abbreviated version of conversations happened, which I assume we'll do at some point,
Yeah.
or at least some of the more like close knit conversations. Because God, I want to talk to the NPC. So, um, but yeah, so they were like, "Well, all right, we got to get a move on because the Grail War is, time is ticking. We're almost there." So they get upstairs and we stopped with basically the ladies of the lake throwing water on Morgan's face to wake her up. Yeehaw. I think that was everything.
That was most of it.
Yep.
I took more notes. I took more notes during that game session than I had taken in the 120 previous.
Yeah. There was a lot. Obviously, the nature of a recap, some details get left out. I'm sure we'll fill them in as we go. Um, just
I
out
went
of
back.
curiosity, do any of you have the
Yeah.
stream open right now?
I can. I
I
don't
just want to
have the.
make sure there's sound there because of all of the setting changes that have just occurred. By the way, if you're
There
watching
is.
this, everything has changed. Like the Fantasy Grounds is updated, like streaming thing is updated, everything's updated. But if you
Yeah,
have sound
there's
there,
sound.
we good.
Hmm.
Won't worry about it then. I just don't want to do a giant talkie session and then find out there's no sound. uh, so yeah, you woke Morgan up. Morgan's all awake now. You just splashed water on her face.
Yeah.
Taking a while.
Yeah, it's taking a hot minute to load. Uh,
Well, this is awake. Ugh. She waves her hand over her face, and the water that's splashed all over there like coalesces into an orb floating above her. And then she looks over at her two sisters who are made of water. And then she raises her second hand, splits the water in two, and splashes it back at the both of them, who calmly catch it and absorb it into themselves. Right.
Ah,
Good job, everyone.
Good morning.
I can
Oh,
confirm audio.
Oh,
I've been asleep for a long time.
yeah.
She stretches.
Yeah,
Um,
I am bringing some water so we can have some tea. Maybe some caffeine will help.
sure. That's my understanding from dream conversations is that coffee is still a thing.
Well, I don't carry coffee on me at all times, but I do carry tea with me at all
I
times.
will
Here,
I will drink anything. My throat is very dry.
here's some English breakfast.
Penelope like scoots up close. She's like sitting on the edge of the bed right now and just like scoots closer. She's like, "Hi,
Hello in the waking world.
I
I
told you I'd come. I
I
told you
see
I'd be
that.
here."
There's not a incredibly tiny halfling that's gonna shoo me away, is there?
What?
That kept happening when we met before.
Oh, no. That's no. You're not gonna have to worry about Tiny Vivi.
Okay.
You may have to deal with not Tiny Vivi at some point, but she won't shoo you away. I promise.
Okay. Well, I'm. She looks over at her sisters. Sure, you two put them through hell getting here. Nimue shrugs. Um, Vivian looks back at her and she says, well, they decided it was worth doing, so don't give them too much trouble. We'll chat when you get here. And The two other ladies of the lake recede into their water basins.
Oh, that
They're abrupt.
yeah. I didn't actually expect them to disappear that quickly. um,
I'm sure this is very awkward for them.
yeah, dang it, I was gonna ask them what we're gonna do about Albion.
Oh, the big guy. You can actually hear Albion's voice in all of your heads, and he says, "What's going to happen is that those three ladies are going to open up my way to the other side of the world."
Which is what?
Oh,
And
that'd
where?
just be through some water. Just find some water big enough for this big guy, and we'll make it happen.
I mean, there's lake in front of the castle. Or not castle, the base.
That may actually not be.
There's the ocean.
Yeah, you have a few options here. In terms of the map, which I guess I'll share, hopefully not crashing the world on everyone. Boop.
Ah,
Oh, I hate to do this right after you've woken up. One of the things we had to bear in order to get here and wake you up was a dreadful vision of the future told to us by probably not actually our future selves. Please don't reconstruct Camelot. Just don't do it.
Uh, okay, that's fine. It's hard enough to break in the first place.
yeah. But since you just woke up, we don't want to push you hard. Like, honestly, if you wanted to go ahead back to the reverse side of the world, I don't blame you.
Fuck that. They can wait for me for a change. Been waiting for them for I don't even know how many thousand years.
Uh, so you want to stick around here?
Might as well.
You actually do want to help me out?
I mean, I said I would. I think I told all of you that I would, didn't I?
I think so.
We appreciate it. Biggest concern is getting the mana back into you and making sure you're healthy.
Yeah,
So if
I
you're
am
okay
a
with
bit
it,
peckish, yes. Let's see. Based on my poking around in your heads, I'm assuming you're not the human sacrifices type, so I'll probably have to find another source. Just take a nap on a nice lake.
Wait, what do you mean poking around in our heads?
Well, you've been talking to me in your dreams,
Yeah?
and you summoned me in her dreams, points at
Yeah?
Annis.
Yeah?
So I've seen things.
Yeah?
You don't strike me as the sacrificing type.
No?
No.
Oh, sorry. The way you said it, it kind of sounded like went and poked in everybody's brains, and that's not cool.
It snows mana here. Could you, I don't know, go outside and get a mana
Snow cone.
snow cone?
I'm sure I could do that. She walks across the large room that you're in, which is a very nice room. And she
cool.
looks out the window all Disney princess style, and
Oh,
she's like pops the window open, leans out a little bit, breathes in the air. She says, "Oh, it's a bit denser up here than I would have expected, but I can make that happen."
I
And
need you to know.
she just sticks her hand out and swirls it in the air, and then she pulls her hand back inside, and it's like her hand is covered in a spool of cotton candy, and she just starts casually snacking on it.
Annis, you're a genius. It didn't even I didn't even think
What?
about that option as I pull out the fucking bottle of goddamn liquid I gulped up from the river of pure mana. We might need more of these.
Whatever works at this point.
Also, I can't help but notice from looking out there that there seems to be some kind of fire screaming thing attacking moth people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
That's the
need to.
butcher's servant. She's a big problem. She is the main reason why everything went south in that bad future that we were told about.
And
That makes
exhausting
sense.
yourself. That's also a major problem. It makes you vulnerable.
That sounds accurate. Like candidly, I feel like the reverse side's probably got a bit more mana than this, and that's probably why my sisters are still there. This place, a little bit less. It might take a little bit to really get myself up to strength. Like, I'm sure I could put Camelot back together, but don't know how much I'd have after that. And if I can't get it back as quickly, I could see that being a problem.
I mean,
So
and it's, you know what though? Like Camelot is in the past, and we have a perfectly good base here that I think would work better.
that's fine by me. I no particular love for the city. I assume whatever version of me you saw doing that didn't realize what our current limitations are.
Probably not.
Can try and redirect some ley lines to the base if that would help give you more mana once we're there.
I'll get a sense for what it's like when we arrive. If it seems horrible, then I will come back here or go to the other side or something else. I have no desire to be more depleted than necessary.
Right.
I mean, that's
So, guess we owe this big guy a favor. Um,
yeah.
that's
We've got
probably
some
where my sisters actually went because they do like to keep their promises. So,
we got the ruins on his back, and we've got him.
and she says out loud, just in general, out the window, all right, big guy, you want to go in? You want some water? They've got some water near where they're staying, so fly on down the mountain, drop us off, and I'll open the gate for you. And Albion replies in your heads, that will do. Hang on. And the ground starts to shake under you.
Oh shit.
And keeping in mind, like when you saw Albion's body before, it was laying out with its wings flat against the ground on both sides, like giant, to use modern terminology, like giant on ramps. But in practice, this is a massive dragon, and the process of those wings lifting up off the ground, um, very loud. The air displacement from these wings starting to flap makes your ears pop. Um, and the ground starts to shake under you. Morgan
Woo.
calmly walks over and sits down on the bed.
Um,
Recommend sitting
yeah,
somewhere comfortable because once he gets going, it's going to be pretty fast.
is
I say,
there a way to kind of conceal him as he's flying?
Um,
Because
you want to do that, big guy? Fine. And that barrier of water and air that was floating around him seems to come up with him in that same blurriness that you saw when Diana did her thing to the boat. Um, and while Albion is lifting off the ground, anyone who wants to look out the window can see that there's obviously a giant crater under where it was.
hey yo.
And whether or not there was a barrier up to make this not visible before, stuff is falling, trees are flying around, the snow is getting blown up in all directions. This is too big of a thing to move without people noticing. but once Albion is clear of the ground and there's no more stuff to hit, and Albion hits like cruising altitude, you get the impression that aside from things just being displaced in the air, which isn't much at that height, you've probably got a little bit of clearance now. Is anyone looking out the window?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody who can roll, give me your perception check.
Could Enon look out the window too?
If you would like, he can also look out the window.
It's scouting time.
Oh, please.
Mm-hmm.
Diana, please.
Those are some good rolls so far. There you go. Thanks, Diana.
Oh, fuck me. Can I have a reroll on that one?
That is on Penelope.
Please and thank you, Penelope.
How much do you love me?
Is this gonna be like last time where I get it once? Because if that's the case, I'm fine without it. I'll hold it for later.
I'll let you have it this time.
Enon thanks you. All right,
I'm
please,
sure he
Enon,
does.
please. Oh, plus, so yeah, 27.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so Diana tries to look out the window, but the level of monodensity up here now that you're flying is so rough that she kind of just feels nauseous and thinks looking out the window might be a little too dangerous.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
She's just gonna lay on the bed and be like, I can't right now.
She was monosick last
Belle
time
comes
too.
over and pats her head,
Yeah.
pats her hair. There.
Yeah. Um, let's see, going up in numbers. Annis looking out the window. You can see from up here at this incredibly high altitude. Does everyone have the map open still?
It's
The
black.
green map that is completely black.
Yeah, it's because
Come
our
on, Merlin. Stop being a douche. All right, Merlin, share.
It's Merlin. It's in his nature.
How's that?
hey.
There he is.
All right. So I'm gonna be, since you have a higher vantage point here than you will probably get for a while, given how
Yes.
dangerous it is to be this high up, but you got certain protections going, I'm gonna reveal a bit more of the world map for you.
Yes.
Yay.
Thank you for the
So,
reroll. That's some good scouting there.
yep. So
No,
let's
Vivian.
get some.
They're two very cute kitties.
Oh,
Okay,
god
that's a
damn.
bit more than I was
That's a lot
intending.
more.
That's
that-
the whole fucking map.
You can have it. I don't care at this point.
I'm about to say, was
It was
that
a misclick, but I'll let you have it. Hey, look, it's a giant map.
Oh my god.
Enon is like, I can see everything from here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I was gonna give you most of it, but sure, you can see the whole thing. It's fine. Like,
Albion's pulling an Aladdin. I can show you the world.
I'm gonna zoom out for this stream. So I was clicking on the edit global mask, and apparently one of the new interface things is delete. So I deleted all the masking and just made it all visible.
Oh
So
my
No.
god.
whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's the world. You can see it now. If there's ever an opportunity to see the entire world, it's when a big ass dragon is flying you up there and you have a servant with supervision seeing all of it. So,
Facts.
sure.
Thanks, Albion and Anon.
Thank you for that reroll.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, there you go. This is what Dreams End looks like. We have a full map reveal. I may just keep a copy of it in the corner of the interface for the future now that we're not masking it anymore. Look at all that.
Look, I see a fighting pit. It's perfect.
You see a
What?
fighting pit?
Yeah, over there, little island for Fight Club.
No.
The Southeast Island?
Uh, West.
Oh.
There's like
There's a
several
lot of
islands.
There's a
Oh,
lot of islands.
the perfect like hilled one with all the tropic trees. It's got like a perfect barrier.
Lord.
But yeah, keep in mind how big these hexes are.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
yeah, oh,
how
yeah,
long it took you to
yeah.
go down that blue line.
God, yeah.
So yeah, there you go. You see the whole map now. The world is in fact strangely flat. Enjoy. Um, you can assume that there's just water off in the other directions where it's black. I was not going to go bigger than we needed to, given how big the map already was. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the world. You can see it. Some of you see it better than others, but you've got some gaps. Keeping in mind you're seeing this under what passes for the middle of the night,
Yeah.
but like we're just gonna say because magic, you can see it right now because I don't want to go back to pretending you haven't seen the map. So
Yeah.
there we go. But you can't make out like super details because you're high up. This is really just you can see terrain. And
Yeah.
as you can see from those little house hut things, there are other cities in this place spread throughout.
Ugh.
So enjoy that. Um,
Hey.
so looking out there, you see all that. Just cutting through the other things. Another thing that Anon can see is down below you in the area that you are leaving. Um, the figure with flame hair seems to be darting around at incredible speeds, like uncomfortably fast speeds.
Like, faster than Enon speeds we're talking here, I take it?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
faster
I
than
thought.
Anon, faster than you. Um, it's uncomfortably fast. Like from this height, it's almost more like when you look at like bad fast forwarding in film where they
Yeah,
don't have the fill frames, they're just skipping around. You're just seeing flashing rather than seeing all the bits in the middle. So
that's what I did want to get clarification on,
Yeah.
so, okay.
Like a fight scene in Dragon Ball Z.
yeah, where they can't be bothered to animate all the tween frames, so they just move.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like that. Or like when someone makes a really crappy GIF to put into like a messenger service and they're just jumping around all messy. It's like that. So yeah, they're down there presumably still fighting moth people, but they are
Uh,
well below you.
Penelope's
And
gonna point out the flashing bits of the servant running by to Morgan and be like, "That's his servant."
that's something. Um, fire, huh?
Yeah,
Does that narrow it down? I don't know fire.
I
I'm
don't
more of a
either.
water person.
I think majority
Um,
of us are.
Yeah, as it turned out, not that I planned any of that, but you have an
Yeah.
alignment as a party.
Yeah.
It's like water, 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 Annis.
Yeah.
trees.
Derek.
Derek.
Derek is Shadow.
Yes.
Well, Derek is a ground type when he's a Pokemon.
That's true.
But
That's it.
Hey.
but yeah, Albion is flying you down the mountain. Um, and so
Oh,
from up here, you can see different bodies of water. Obviously, the two most known to you are right in front of your base, and the one that had the ruins floating in it,
gotcha.
and presumably still does.
Yeah.
They were not floating in your weird future vision, but that was the future. Who knows?
Yeah.
Aiden kind of looks over, or like kind of looks up to what would be where Albion is, and just kind of shouts out in Draconic, "What kind of timing do you think we have? Like, how long do you think it'll take you to get there?"
Albion, you can't really see Albion's face because Albion's flying like down the mountain.
Yeah.
But in your mind, Albion says, I will arrive when I wish to. Are you in a
Okay.
hurry?
Actually, no, that's not why I'm asking. He like looks down the window side. I'm gonna make a pit stop and do it now, just if there is time,
Where?
to the jewelry store
You want to try to do your jewel run on the back of
while he's
Albion?
still in the air. I
While
mean,
he's
if
flying.
everything's still put together,
Oh my god.
I mean, it's
look,
not
I got.
really in the best shape. This place was still like, burned to the
Oh,
ground.
it's
But
okay.
in terms of like by comparison to shortly when it's going to all be a lump of junk on the ground, yes, this is the best
Yeah.
state it's going to be in.
So I was like, hold on, if we've got a minute to fly, I might just start fucking running now before we have to start hauling ass and like
I mean,
lugging
we are
shit up.
I don't have locate
kind of
object.
in a hurry.
I
I
think
Oh,
think that
we started at night.
I my interpretation of that is that Aiden's not expecting it to take any longer. Aiden just wants to do this while you're in the air.
um,
Yeah, it's more so like not having crumbles on the ground and lifting like 400 plus pounds of debris
Yeah.
versus, yeah. So he just like looks at y'all. He looks down below where he knows the shop should be because future him was like, this is where it would be. And he's like, I'll be right back. And fucking throws himself onto the side of the tower and just runs down.
and there he goes.
Oh,
I'll be
Okay.
just a few.
All right. So because you have directions, you were given specific directions for where to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask
Okay.
you to give me an athletics check, and we will see how quickly you can get there.
Yay. I'm also keeping track of 10 minutes in my head because I don't know how long that conversation took that they're doing with Morgan. So I'm kind of keeping. Please don't fuck up now. 10 average.
Very average. Okay. Um, so yeah, the important thing was that you hit the 10 threshold that you needed to not face plant when you got to the bottom of the tower. On account of how quickly you're running down the side of a tower. You successfully get to the ground and you are running off through the ruins of Camelot. The others are welcome to watch you sprint around in the dark if they wish. Thing that you're noticing is that this is not the most level ground on account of how flying works, but you're able to, by virtue of four hooves and essentially like stick to surface feet, you don't fall off and die, so that's good. Um, Rushing through the cobblestones, you're now going to have to give me an investigation check to see how well you navigate the streets. Make you roll stuff.
That guidance myself.
Are you going to stop long enough to do that? I assume you're using your action for running.
Yeah, I'm running. Yeah, fuck it. I gotta be quick. Wow.
Oh,
Wow. I'm lost in
oh,
the streets of
you're
Camelot.
lost.
Bye,
You've gotten
everybody.
lost in the ruins of
I know.
Camelot. You find yourself in the stables, the
No!
ruined stables. You can't help but wonder whether or not that stable at the end with all the wrought iron bars was once a horse prison.
Oh no, I found the horse prison. You just hear shouting from a distance, a hand raised in the air that you can probably just ever slightly make out. Fuck. I was hoping this. I was like, I had a great idea. Then, oh man, fuck.
What is he doing?
I don't know. You're getting
Looks to me
good.
like he wandered into the stables. I guess half of him belongs there.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're losing a little bit of time trying to reorient yourself. Give me another investigation check, and we'll see if you can find your way from the stables. Okay, a little better, a little better. Um, you it takes precious minutes, but you do eventually find the streets that should take you to the commerce district of Camelot. Um, and continuing your running, like you don't have to do a new athletics check because you're just going at speed now. Um, Running your way through the commerce district, you see the ruins of warehouses, the ruins of bars. You eventually get to the main thoroughfare with the nicer stuff. There's some blacksmith shops. There's uh, clothing shops. There's like places that look like they were probably what passed for nice inns and dining establishments. You do not find a Waffle House because Camelot is classy. Um, and you eventually see the jeweler shop, and it is much worse off than how it was described to you, but parts of it are standing based on the description you were given.
Standing, and that's all that matters. I fucking get in there.
Okay. What you were told from the other version of you was that the stuff upstairs is kind of whatever, even when restored, but that there's a cache of things located beneath the floor. There's stones for the floor, but if you can get some of the stones out of the way, then you'll find the hidden spot that presumably whoever lived there before was hiding things during the siege of Camelot that seemed like they would be valuable later. So you're gonna have to move a rock. Give me
Cool.
another
I want
athletics
you
check
to
to
know.
move a rock.
Okay. And as a heads up, as a centaur, I have a higher lifting
Yep,
capacity. My max lift is 840. I can
yep.
lift myself.
This is
Okay.
more a matter of can you get it out of the ground because
Yes.
it is not just sitting there. You
18.
can. You
I'm
absolutely
lifting it.
can. You rip the stone out of the ground.
Nice.
It takes some effort, but you do it. And ripping up the stone, you find under the stone, as described, there is a tiny um, leather pouch. And when you pick up said pouch, you can feel a little bit of heft to it. What would you like to do?
I would like to look inside said pouch really quick. Like, is it actually just diamond dust only in there? Is it like all sorts of gems? Like,
So looking inside, um, you find it is there in fact a fair bit of shiny dust in it, and two chunks of cut diamond. Presumably, the dust may have come from the cut diamond in the cutting process. The diamonds, just from what you can see looking at them, are probably worth somewhere in the neighborhood of the somehow understood because D&D currency is dumb. They're in the neighborhood of like 500 to 600 GP, which means they qualify for things that need diamonds of that value. Again, don't think too hard about it. D&D falls apart when you think about the value of diamonds. Um, and in terms of how much dust is there, I need you to roll 4d4 for me.
please be a lot of fours.
Respect, respect. Okay. Um, you find 1,100 gold worth of diamond dust. I will add that to your inventory now.
Let it be known that all they can hear from a distance is heavy wheezing from a centaur man just having an asthma attack.
I think
All
he's dying.
He might be. But
Well,
should we go help him?
look, he threw himself out the window.
That's true.
Everyone finds out he can't run for long distances, just short distances.
All
Chug,
right,
chug,
I've
chug,
updated
chug.
the total that you have in your inventory for dust.
Okay. Is there anything else in this like under hatch? Like any secret notes, something left behind by the owners, blah blah blah, any other gems? Like before I just fucking leave this place and run back, like I want to make sure it has been checked.
Uh, you can do a separate investigation for that since you came here on a mission and now you're taking a second to look around.
Okay. I will actually do a second to guide myself because this is like okay, I'm breathing now. I'm not running no
Okay.
more. I will do that. 9.
Got to 9. All right. So looking around in the ruins of this place, you you find that in the little like hideaway, like under the pouch, There's there's a it's a metal ring, but it's missing a stone, and there's an engraving on the inside of it that you're having trouble reading in this light.
Well, I will fucking take that. I like reading things.
Yeah, so you might have to get to better lighting to view that because it's also, the middle of the night and you're inside and all that. But
Yeah,
but yeah, you got a thing. I will add that to your inventory as well.
if it's handy for the team, then yes, I will gladly. Yeah. So once I get that, I will. Man, okay. The top of the shop, really quick. As I'm like heading out, do I see like just random jewels? The only reason I'm asking, they don't have to be anything of significance. It's just we are in Camelot, and I kind of want to get a gem for the guy at the jewelry shop back at Sherwood to give him something.
Looking around the rest of it, you can it it kind of looks like maybe this place was picked clean during the siege.
Ah,
You get the impression that the things that you found here were specifically because they were hidden under something that a normal person would not be able to lift.
gotcha.
Um,
Cool. Okay.
but yeah, like it's neat. Like there's some stuff that wasn't taken but doesn't seem especially useful is there's some really old jeweler's tools. Those weren't taken. Like they're not in the best shape. These are not like
Then
the
I'll take
masterwork
them.
intricate stuff, but they do exist. Like they're old.
All right, and then I run back. I'm
All
like,
right.
ooh, he'd
So you
like
did
these.
take those?
Yeah, I'm taking
Okay.
those because it has history and he would like it. So I'm just like, I grab them, I run, and
Okay.
I'm like running up the side of the Annis, Annis, and just like yelling to Annis.
Annis, you can hear someone yelling your name from down in the dark.
Better be you, Aiden.
I would hope he recognized my voice. Annis! I like crawl up,
Well,
hands over the
you
window.
say this, but like you're a horse in the normal sense, not the horse sense right now, because you're screaming while running at top speed.
That's fair. Yeah, he's like running up the side of the tower and like hands over the window. He's like, I found it. You just tell me how much you need. I found it.
What? You found what?
The dust.
The diamond dust. Okay.
Yes. He has like
Well,
pinpoint eyes of like someone who's just
when
like,
when we get back to our base, we can take a look and see about it. Get in here.
okay. And he like crawls through the window and has to like lug his little ass. Okay. I think I made good time. I think I.
Okay.
Oh, and then
Um,
he'll like.
while you're doing like while you were doing that, I'm gonna make sure that the others who did not go on
Yes.
diamond hunting adventures get a chance to talk
Yeah.
about what they're up to. So, Annis or Penelope, what did you do while Iden ran out and got lost in the stables?
How long did that take?
Oh, that took several minutes because he was
Okay.
lost. So you've got a few minutes. Like, in
I
terms of
mean,
pacing, on the map, like Albion's flying down, but at a pace where you don't all fall off. So you get the impression that Albion's kind of giving you like the kiddie ride, not full speed. So,
like the only thing Annis would be doing in that time is just basically like when we get back to the base, we all need to have a lot of conversations. Just looking meaningfully at Derek and Freddie.
um,
Alone conversations, glaring over at Buck.
yeah. So looking over at them now that you finally got a chance to slow down and see them, Freddie looks pretty mortified by whatever he saw, and uh, Derek is just very quiet. Like they're not producing a whole lot of conversation right now, but like where Freddie looks like embarrassed, Derek just looks defeated.
No. She'll she's at least gonna walk over and like take Derek's hand and squeeze it and be like, "We'll talk later."
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's gonna have to happen. Are you okay? I didn't get to see what happened after I went out.
I'm going to do everything I can to keep that from happening.
Okay.
Not now, Mom!
Wow, you had it on D&D mode for D&D. I'm going to do everything I can to keep that future from happening. We have time and we have information. And for what it's worth, future me told me that you were really cool and you went out like a hero.
I mostly remember getting punched through the chest. But
Being
I guess
told
that's a pretty cool way to go.
being told you were punched through the chest.
Yeah, he told me. He told me how that fight went.
My future self said you were very cool. Not all those harvests.
It was a lot, but all I know is that if they show up anything like that's happening this time, I'm gonna run over to those people that seem to be ignoring your magic and punch them in the dick.
Well, that's not going to happen. We got a warning. We know how to keep that from happening.
Okay. Yeah,
But
like you said, we
you
can
can
talk when
punch
we get
him.
there. But yeah.
Yeah. She squeezes his hand and then lets go and steps back from him, kind of making sure he's okay.
Yeah, he's a little shaken, but he's not like collapsing and crying or anything. He looks like someone who realized their limits.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Yes, but no. Yeah, whatever. She's gonna walk over to Freddie.
Yep. Freddie is sitting on a nice chair that Morgan has over in the corner. And he's kind of doing that the popular like defeated Joe shot from old anime that gets parodied in like every third anime ever since then. Um he's just like he's sort of sitting there, not quite all present, but when Annis walks over, he tilts his head up and he's like, "So I met someone who isn't me, and I'm never gonna be him, and I'm sorry for all the trouble he caused you."
She just is there another chair
You
anywhere?
could get one. There's another one. Like he's sitting in front of like the vanity mirror. Um, but yeah, there are other chairs in the room.
She's just gonna drag another chair, sit down beside him, not saying anything, just hold out her hand and see what he does.
He's hesitant at first. Then he reaches over to take it and he tilts his head to look in Derek's direction. Um,
She's gonna
Derek doesn't. Derek tries to do the thing where he sees it and then he turns to look away so that you feel like he's not watching. Like he's trying to give you space, and
she's
then,
gonna wag her hand at him and just be like, "Come on."
all right, yeah, all right.
Well, there's a lot I want to say to you, but maybe not in present company. Looks over, not at Derek, but at literally everyone but Derek.
Oh, they're all doing stuff. Yeah,
No, yeah, no, we're
Yeah,
not gonna
Aiden
do
would
that.
leave the room with Inan the moment you kind of like, yeah.
yeah. Like right now, Aiden is not present, and Inan does not seem
Oh
to be
yeah.
like manifest. So, um,
Like, down on the bed, just like,
Diana's lying on the bed. Belle is brushing her
Petting her
hair,
hair.
trying to like calm her down a little bit. And Morgan and Penelope are having conversations at another part of the very large bed because it's huge, because it's comically large. Like, um,
Let's say
it's
much
almost like
giant.
if you're going to be sleeping on it for 1,000 years, it might as well be nice.
Right.
True.
It is soft. That part's true. And no, puns aside, it is not a waterbed. But yeah, so you've got a little bit of room, but obviously people are here. You don't know where Buck is.
That is an ominous sentence. And there's a lot I want to say, but not in present company. Actually, don't, since I don't know what Buck is right now.
He
But
slipped out while everyone was looking out the window. I think he's trying to find a crown or something. I don't know.
what? Who did you talk to? What did you see?
I saw a version of me who is human and younger and useless.
Yeah,
Wait, how was he? Sorry, that was out of character.
half elf. Or did she turn him into a human somehow?
Sorry, I mean half elf. I just said the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
oh God,
No,
what happened?
no, that was a slip of the tongue. No,
Okay.
he's back to exactly who he was, like about right
4
before
days.
he got vampired. So
Yeah.
after he left and went back to America, before
Hmm.
the rest of his life went to that. But also, this is like noticeably younger still.
Yeah.
Like he's had some city miles of late. So yeah, but yeah, he told me a story that made it very clear that he never went through the things that I've been through, and he never grew up, and he got good people killed.
Well, we're not going to let that happen.
No, I
We
I would
gotta.
refuse. There, if there are other ways to change me to something that isn't this, I'm open to them, but I'm not going to go backwards like that. I I can't take care of my sisters like that. I can't take care of myself like that. I can't take care of you or anyone like that.
We're not. We're not going to let that happen. Um, I'm pretty sure those weren't actually future versions of ourselves, and that was just a warning. But warning taken.
Yeah, I get the impression that that strikes me as like the weird American concept of scared straight. Like, here's something that's really bad. This could happen to you. Don't let it happen. Quite honestly, I get the impression that Penelope's boss is a twisted kind of bitch for putting us through that, but I'm sure in her own way she means well. But in the meanwhile, I'm very unhappy with how that went out. Um, that said, yeah, um, even though whoever or whatever the butcher's up to isn't going to play out that way, we need to be careful.
Of course.
And we need to figure out how the fuck he does that stuff that he does.
Well, starters, we have to make sure that Enon doesn't get killed.
Yeah, I dare say that's important, if only because he decided that Enon dying was the first step to whatever that was.
And I think I've gotten us all involved in something a little more dangerous than I was expecting. But, and I'm sorry for that, but there's not much we can do now.
No, there's no real going back at this point. We just have to be careful, and maybe when the butcher shows up this time around and we're ready for him, we can find out how effective uh, the parts of him that are probably vampire can take the parts of me that have been trained to kill vampires.
His servant went for you first, before anyone else. That probably means that you're the biggest threat. So congratulations, you've got the biggest target on your back now.
Or I'm the weakest link that makes other people make mistakes. But either way,
You,
we'll be
no,
careful.
you're the biggest target. You are the most threatening. You and the big guy, I think, can actually attack the butcher, can actually do damage to the butcher.
Oh, then guess I'll keep up my key practice.
There's still a lot I want to say to you, but again,
Right.
Buck is, and I can tell other people are listening in, just looks over at Penelope.
Penelope is fully engrossed in her conversation.
So just, yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that that future that we were told about doesn't happen.
All right. Yeah, let's just get her back down to the base first and then circle the wagons a bit. Hooray. So before we start
Yeah,
the Penelope conversation, we're trying to have breaks now so that people can drink and go to the bathroom and stuff. So this is a good time to do that.
Yay!
So yeah, everybody, if you're watching this in recordings and whatnot, then you can skip ahead. For us, time actually travels at normal speed, so we'll be back in 5 minutes. Wee!
Woo!
Yeah, freaking out reading Tosaka picture. Thanks, Carnival Phantasm.
Woo!
that was like half of the conversation I wanted to have.
Yeah. Okay, no longer muted, no longer Reen. Um, you may no longer share your bank account numbers.
1,
No, no, don't do it.
2.
Stop.
So reckless. Yeah. So that was Annis talking to the boys,
Part 1.
part one.
It's time for 2.
Meanwhile, Penelope and Diana are on different ends of the giant bed. I will let you pick which one of them you want to go to first.
um, I'll go to Penelope first, mostly because right now Diana's still kind of like motion sick, I guess.
Yeah.
Mana sick, whatever.
Yeah, she's got that headache.
She's gonna deal with that for a hot second.
Yep. Fair.
Um, but Penelope is gonna just like take a moment to be sit, look, and try and decide what she wants to do because she wants to talk to Morgan because oh my god, she's finally there, but she needs to talk to Johnny because she wants to make sure Johnny's okay. Where is Johnny?
Johnny is so just to describe the room a little bit, there's a big bed in the center. It's not like against a wall, it's in the center. Four post hanging all the pretty blues and whatnot right there.
Mm-hmm.
Off on like if you're looking at it as if it were a map, um, in each direction, each cardinal direction, there are windows that allow you to see out of it in all the different ways. That's kind of how you were able to see in so much of the world map from there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like an observation room in that weird way. Um, there's a vanity mirror and like clothing wardrobe over in the southeast end of it, and that's where Annis is at later in the conversation. When she gets over to Freddie and what pulls over a chair, there was a writing desk, which is the where she pulled the chair from, and that's all in like the southeast end of the room.
Yeah.
And the northeast of the room, there is a more of a almost like a cupboard, like it has a bunch of cubbies and stuff. Things can be stored there. Um, it's not like fully sealed away. Like there aren't doors and stuff. It's just got like bolts of fabric, um, things that would be nice signs of like would be nice to have around, especially if you're like a hobby crafter. Stuff like that. On the northwest end of the room is where Johnny ended up, and at least at the moment, Johnny is over there, and the um, the northwest end of the room has a number of I'm trying to describe. I can't remember the word for it right now that I'm thinking about it, but the closest thing I can think of. So like how I just described that there were cubbies at one end. Well, this is kind of
Yeah.
like cubbies, but this is more like a almost like a library catalog of pull-out drawers. And she's pulling those out and looking inside, and these things are a bit larger. They've got giant, well, not giant, but very long um, tapestries or maps or other paper vellum type scrolls. And she
Mm-hmm.
seems to just be pulling them out, unrolling them, looking at whatever's on it, rolling it back up, and putting it in. And the way that she's going about this is kind of like she's not really looking at what's on it. She's just trying to find things to do by
Yeah.
herself. She
Yeah.
does not look particularly happy or comfortable at the moment.
Yeah.
She's just it's it is a different iteration of the concept of doom scrolling, um, which is not what I was going for, but I realized it when I almost used the words. Yeah,
Oh no.
she's thumbing through Morgan's like paper collection of some sort, but she's not really paying much attention. It just seems to be trying to keep her mind busy.
Gotcha.
And just to complete the description, the southwest end is where all the snacks are. Um, it's like a pantry,
Love
and no one seems to be there right now, as far as you can tell. But
that.
if thinking back, it does feel like Buck was there for a moment before he disappeared while everyone was looking out the window.
Dang it, Buck. Okay. Um. So Penelope is gonna look at Morgan and she's gonna be like, um, you and I need to, but do you mind waiting for a minute?
I am nothing if not patient by virtue of how long I've waited to get here. I'm happy just to be awake. You, by all means, go have a chat with your wife.
And if you want, you can poke Diane. Don't I know you guys haven't met yet, so I don't know how much of a good conversationalist she'll be right now, but
She does seem a bit under the weather. I'll see how she's doing.
and so Penelope will hop up and then head. Oh no!
It crashed?
Yeah.
We
Aw.
waited for
Right.
Penelope to hop up. She hopped on it. She hopped on the server.
No.
Wow.
Penelope, no. Okay. Well, while I'm trying to get that back online,
Yeah.
um, so yeah, she's gonna walk over to where Johnny is doom scrolling.
Yep.
Um, and she's going to just very gently lay a arm and look up at her, and she'll just be like, "Honey,
Hey.
hey, how are you holding up?"
It was a bit much.
Yeah,
Um, I I got the impression from everyone else's story that you all met whoever your future branch self was.
yeah.
Well, based on the story that I got, it sounded like my future me, a bit more in touch with her origin than I am, and she's also a bit of an insufferable bitch. So
Oh no,
that doesn't feel great.
no. What'd she say to you?
Uh, well, when I found myself in that room with the table, um,
Uh-huh.
she was sitting on the other side of it, and she was pissed off that she felt like she wasn't supposed to be there, like she wasn't supposed to have died, I guess. Um,
Right?
and she was in pretty firm denial about it. I took me a while to piece together what the hell she was talking about, but it seems like she was real full of herself on account of she got to melt clover. I mean, fair. I'd feel pretty good about that too, being honest. But um, then she was just put down like she was nothing. And I don't know. I don't know what exactly her origin, my origin is, but she was insufferable. Like everything that she was saying, she contextualized as if it were about ways that she was better than me. Like she's got all of a few days on me. It sounds like a few days of getting shot and then getting her ass kicked, but she seemed to think she was better than me. She seemed to think that she was better than Buck. I don't. Why is that who I apparently am at my core? I don't feel that way, but that's what came out.
It's, I mean, she just sounds like she was.
You cut out a little bit.
She sounds like she was competitive,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's the nicest way you could describe it, I guess.
Well, like, I mean, and this might just be, you know, I might be a little biased on this one, but like maybe your origin is that you really are the best there was. Not that I wanna. It,
I I don't know what to make of this. I just know that whether I'm the best or I think I'm the best or just insufferably competitive, I just I don't want to be that. If that's what I'm built on, then I guess I'm gonna build away from it. But I just it, I hope that no one else ever has to meet that part of themselves because like I saw what it did to that scribe fellow, and I don't think his origin was necessarily bad, but it ruined his life. But at least he wasn't hurting people. I feel like based on the one that I met, if she hadn't been put down when she was, she would have eventually hurt somebody I care about. She said horrible things about Buck. She said horrible things about almost everyone. Like, she took that whole #1 fan thing really far. She was talking shit about Diana, and like, Diana was there with us through the whole thing. I don't know. Like, that's not how I feel. Just, I need you to know that.
I know, Johnny. You know I know that.
Yeah. But another thing that kind of upsets me is that it sounds like the closer she got to being that person, the stronger she got. Like, I can't imagine just bam, Clover's gone. I don't think I could do that. Like, it's been a while since I fought him, but I don't think I could do that. So, like, is that what getting closer to your origin does to you, or something else going on?
I mean, don't, I don't, but I, I, I think you're strong regardless of whatever your origin is, and I think that there's just a lot that you're still trying to work, and I don't think it's gonna like. I think part of building up your strength is doing the work, and what it sounds like to me when her origin was awakened, it was just like this. It's like when you skip a cutscene, you don't get the content, you don't get all the build up that led to what's maybe that's why it was affected so bad.
Maybe.
Maybe I I you're a strong person. Like you're you're amazing, brave, wonderful, and trust me, I know that was not.
Yeah, it's never gonna be me. Um, if your if your new friend over there can't keep her shadow to herself, I might just stay over here for a little bit. Just don't want that to happen to me.
No, Johnny, it should be fine. It'll be fine.
Okay,
Promise.
just be
You stick with me. Stick with me.
till the end, and then past that, because one of us dies, we gotta haunt the other one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like we're gonna haunt each other so much. gonna be great. And then like whenever we get to the end and it's like, all right, you two cuties go back to the root, we're gonna be like, fuck you, and we're just like together forever.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can tell the
And
planet to fuck off.
yeah.
We'll just go get
And
Lucretia to pass the note up to the boss lady.
I'll be like, hey, Lucretia, pull some strings, and yeah, it'll be great.
Fair enough.
And but yeah, just remember we've got a whole life of adventures together before.
Absolutely.
And there's apparently a bug in this room. Um,
Yeah, I noticed that earlier. I think that's what Buck was chasing.
yeah,
I don't know.
I
Between you and
don't.
me, I think he's just going to go try to find and steal some of Morgan's booze.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it back. Let's let's step away from. Actually, yeah. Did you see anything cool in here, or
Uh,
just?
not really. Like I looked over a bunch of them. I think these were like her notes on how she's going to overthrow Camelot. Don't know
Oh,
why she
fun.
kept him out in a room, but maybe they put him up here to give her something to think about. I don't know.
Think about what you've done.
Kinda like lots of. It's less like how to overthrow Camelot and more areas where Camelot has fallen that she's rolled back.
Yeah,
So I guess it's kind of like threat assessment by virtue of what's failed, but not sure that any of that's really relevant anymore.
she's. I think she's gonna turn out to be a good. Just, I mean, like us and as a group.
Let's hope so. We certainly went through enough to get her.
But yeah, let's. I mean, are you okay?
I'll be all right. I just needed a little minute for a pity party, but I should be
Well,
good now.
okay. Well, I'm here to crash that party, so
Fair enough.
she's just gonna like reach up so she can kiss Johnny on the cheek.
She
Says,
leans down to enable it.
yeah.
When you get another chance to talk to your Nimue friend, could you ask her why the other me is blue?
Uh, yes, yes. I will.
I'm just very curious about that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how these like alter, but I'm very curious about that too.
Seemed like everybody else got to go through a goth phase and I turned into a Smurf.
But you are a cute Smurf.
Well, of course. I mean, you can only change so much.
So yeah, they're. I
Yeah,
would assume they're walking back
yeah.
generally in that direction.
How is Diana doing?
Hmm.
How is she doing now that she's been laying down for a few minutes?
It seems like being further away from the window has helped. Um, she's not feeling as bad as before. It's just like when the windows were opened, obviously a little bit more of the outside like mana mist came in when Morgan pulled her cotton candy in. Um,
Yeah.
but now that you're up and flying and moving about, it seems like the um the barrier that Albion has around it is also limiting how much mana's flying in. So
Hmm.
she's doing a little better now. She just
Okay.
was kind of overwhelmed when it first hit her. It's like when you walk into a room that has a heavy fume and it just hits you like a wall, and then
Yeah.
as it dissipates, you're fine.
Yeah. So she basically just had a moment on the fainting couch, so to speak.
Effectively. Now she's just laying down on like Belle's leg and getting her hair played with. So it's up to her if she wants to continue hamming this up or not.
um, she's gonna be like, oh, I don't know if I can go on any further. Ugh.
I have faith in you.
It's just so hard to deal with mana.
We've all been there. For
I
what
just
it's worth, every moment that I'm alive, the world is telling me I shouldn't be here, and so I'm using mana to tell it I should.
Well, that's rude. The world needs to stop doing that.
I think that's part of the deal.
Still rude.
It is still rude.
Yeah. You're like, I'm just so glad I've got someone here to take care of me when I'm suffering.
So did you see anything? Sounds like everyone else has had little stories.
Ugh.
We just sort of stood there for a moment watching you all stare slack-jawed forward until you came out of it.
That's lovely. Um,
We
yeah,
considered trying to balance something on Buck's head, but we decided it might mess up something if we stepped in, so.
yeah, probably. Um, I mean, yeah, I did get my own little version of. Oh, I did not like where it went.
Seems to be the consensus of whatever this was.
It sucks because like it started out so nice. Like I think I may have been the only person who had someone nice start to theirs. And then it was just the underlying reason for it was so horrendous.
Well, sounds like you've got a cautionary tale to avoid then.
It's gotta be a way to make it be a way. Don't
You're still trying to find a way to make the other side happen?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Well, it sounds like you can maybe talk to the woman you just woke up about what works, because it sounds like she has the same problems as your lady, and she's a lot more available.
Diana just looks over at Morgan like, yeah, that's a good point. It's gonna sit up like I don't know what I'd do without you, Belle.
You'd probably have a stiffer neck than you do now.
I mean, yep. Um, she just like pats her on the shoulder really quick and then I guess scoots over to where Morgan is because I assume Morgan is still on the bed too.
Yeah, she's just on the other end. Like this bed, like for reference, is like 10 feet wide. So
Oh,
it's a bit of a shimmy scoot, but you could do it.
Then yeah, she's gonna just scoot over and sit next to Morgan and
Hello
just
there, emissary of Nimue.
oh, so you know who I am.
I picked up some context clues by the fact that I'm awake.
I mean, yeah. She's going to hold out her hand and like she's trying not like a full handshake, but just like that kind of like very delicate. Here's my hand greeting. I don't know. I'm not describing that well at all.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. Uh,
But she's gonna be like, so I'm Diana.
she reaches out her hand and places it on Diana's hand, and she says, "Congratulations, you're the first person I've touched in over 1,000 years. Consider that a blessing or a curse, depending on who you want to brag to." I'm
Um,
Morgan Le Fay, Morgan of Past Waters, Morgan of. I'm sure they've got a lot meaner titles for me by this point.
yeah, you don't want to know.
I'm quite confident that they've written me in all kinds of ways, but history written by the victors and all that.
Yeah.
But they only
um,
won so hard that they still need my help.
yeah.
So how'd they convince you to get me up?
Um,
Because your lady's a bit stubborn.
I mean, she is, and I'll be completely honest, I am too. Um,
I mean, I can tell. You,
mm,
the two of you share a look.
look,
Do,
she's like
do you not see
Stares
it?
at her like,
uh, what do you mean?
You should see the look on your face, the way you furrow your eyebrows when you get a bit flustered. She does the same thing.
Diana is making that face right now.
That's the one. Yep, right there.
I guess that's yeah.
All right, now you're blushing. She doesn't do that as easily.
Just, mm. Anyway, yeah. I mean, Nimue said she missed you,
I'm sure she did.
and
I'm lovely and she's impulsive.
and I would do anything for.
Oh, you're that kind of emissary. Yeah, I see.
Huh? What do you
Um,
mean?
the true believer devoted type. You're not just here for a summer job. You're actually here because you're in it till the end, aren't you?
I guess. I
What does she give you that makes you feel so complete?
She gives me her attention.
That is a rare resource. I've not found many that can hold her eye for longer than it takes for them to give a report. Vivian and
You
I
give.
used to play this game where we tried to get her to pay attention to one of us while the other tried to distract her just to see what would happen. Vivian was better at it than I was.
Oh no.
Yeah, personally, I think she's cheating because she seemed to always know just what would work. You can't really play games with these sisters, you know?
Yeah, they're both lovely though, and I'm sure you're just.
We're often at odds with one another, but we all mean to do the same thing. We want what's good for our people. We want what's good for the people who are good to us. We want there to be a world for all of these people to be on. We just have different methods.
I I wish I could be there with.
Uh, you mean where she's hiding out on the other side?
I yeah.
I get the impression from the way that the the mana flowing through that window knocked you on your arse that you probably aren't really suited for life on the other side of the world, as I understand it.
Unfortunately not.
And I'm,
I
I'm guessing she doesn't visit you either.
nope. I mean, she visits me in my dreams.
I I guess that's a way to do it, but like, has she visited you here yet?
Like here in Dreams Inn?
I mean, I'm here and I'm not dead.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I mean, apparently I'm not allowed to build castles anymore, but I certainly upright. She says as she's laying down on the bed.
I oh my god, I didn't even think about that. I mean, she's gonna be so busy with getting Albion back.
Oh, she's always busy. If you wait for her to not be busy, you're going to be disappointed.
Maybe this is as good a middle ground as any.
It's the most middle of grounds here.
Yeah.
You're in a place that's below both, but it's where things from both sides fall.
Like I at least this is a good temporary solution.
You should
You
tell
know,
her
it's like
to, if
hmm?
she truly pays attention to you and you can hold her attention, then you could tell her to march her little ass down here and give you a little bit more attention. And at the very least, you could probably sell her on a quickie. That's the term, right? I was fishing around for current parlance. I was kind of relying on what I could get out of some dreams.
Woo! Oh. Diana's just like beet red right now. She's like, oh my god, I guess, I guess, I guess. Oh, no. I that's mm,
Oh, you're a bashful one.
oh,
You're doing the
Morgan,
eyebrow thing again.
oh no, that Morgan, that's all I've ever wanted.
Well, get
I'm just
yourself some water, call her up, tell her to get her ass down here. We're about to open the door. Tell her to step on through. Tell her if she doesn't, then I'll tell everyone embarrassing stories about her, and they're going to believe me because I was there.
I, I okay, I will. I'll do that. Um,
And don't let her give you any of that busy bullshit. She's going to be busy. If you stuck her in the middle of an empty desert, she'd start counting the stars to make sure they're all there. Like, the girl does not focus. You got to bring her here. You got to ground her. You might occasionally have to grab her by the chin, make her look you in the face, and then do whatever comes natural.
whew, and that that'll be great for. I mean, that'll be great for the time being. I that'll.
You have to understand the time being is all she has.
I know, but I mean, I'm talking long term.
That's a bit harder with her. You're just going to have to keep her focused.
Whew, I mean, you're right. You're right. Oh my goodness. Okay. She just she just kind of like glances over at Belle like she's still like bright red. Like uh and then, I see you posting gifs in the group chat.
Belle's making that.
Rude.
Look, you're kind of in anime nosebleed territory right now.
Yeah, basically.
If this were like an early 90s anime, that's where you'd be.
Ah, But yeah, so she looks back at Morgan and she's like, thank you. And she just like leans down and just gives Morgan a big hug.
She returns the hug, and then she says, "Just so you know, we are similar. We are not the same. You'd better
I know.
save your best hugs for her."
Oh, trust me, I am. Just Diana's like just crying on her shoulder at this point. She's like, I've been trying to figure this out for 10 years. And that's like a drop in the bucket to you, but
You say that, but I've just lost 1,000 of them, so relative concepts all around.
And at this point,
Yeah.
Iden
yeah.
gets back.
Yeah, we'll say that we've successfully eaten up a little bit of time with all the different chats. And
Yeah.
Aiden, you've been yelling Annis.
Dennis!
Annis is actually still in the corner holding Freddie's hand, and she's just like, okay. We are talking later.
I'm not
Promise
going
me.
anywhere.
Okay. Squeezes his hand, lets go, stands up, and that better be Iden coming through the window.
It's me! Absolutely Iden! And he's just like crawling. Fat booty
Get in
getting
here.
stuck. Hold on! Tries to pull himself through. It was a lot easier, like, leaving the window. Just face plants onto the floor. I got
Did
the
you at
dust.
least you found what you were looking for?
Oh, I found it. How much do you need to get through some portals?
This
Look,
much. She
Yeah.
tells him.
it's not like a lot. Like you can activate the portals on like 50 dust per round trip. Like it's
Okay.
not a lot. It was just that she had none.
Okay. I pass
How
her 200 dusty worth.
Oh,
Do you have a bag? He's just like, I don't have I mean, I have a water skin, but I need to fill that full of mana water. I've got
reaches
not enough
into her
bags
bag.
here.
She probably has a bunch of empty vials from potions.
He'll start making like vials
Yes,
that are like perfect 50, like
I think actually, just in case anyone needs to escape in an emergency, we should probably give one of these to most of the group. In case.
I need you to understand how expensive healing magic is, Annis.
Right.
Very
Well,
expensive, Annis.
okay.
I
Okay.
kind of forgot Greater Restoration takes 100 gold pieces each.
Ah,
So
gotcha.
if Johnny gets turned to a rock again, I can do it, but it's going to cost 100 gold
Well,
worth of
okay.
diamond dust. Yeah.
Let's just wait until we get back to the base, and we can sort all this out later.
He just thumbs up towards if Johnny's in our room. He's like, I've got you. And like no context. He's just like, I got you.
Does it look like we're getting closer to the base?
Yeah, you looking outward. So on the map, I am gonna move the little Merlin, which I think you
Okay,
should be
you.
able to see. Can you see him?
Oh yeah. I don't see the Merlin.
Let me make him visible.
Oh, okay. You already updated my dust for me. Thank you.
All right, do you see little Merlin now? He's on the mountain.
Yeah,
Uh
I see you.
oh
So,
yes.
Oh
I
yeah.
zoomed out too far. Yes,
yeah,
I see. Okay.
so he can move around through the maps. So
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I
yeah,
imagine he's just been circling the area. Like, are you done with your conversation?
yeah, you're kind of at the part now where you've flown down from the parts that were covered in cotton candy and you're over the more normal mountains where you started your trip. You're maybe 2/3 to 3/4 of the way there. Like Aiden's thing took a little while. All of your conversations took a little while. This is way shorter than your trip up, obviously. Um, but again, Albion is not flying at full speed because if he did, you'd all be dead. So,
X.
um, for those of you who played Fate Grand Order, you know what I'm talking about. This is not the same Albion, but the premise stands. Um,
Oh dear.
yeah. So yeah, you're almost there. You've got a few minutes left, so to speak. Like I'd say, oh right, I have to update you on this.
Yes, as I say, Aiden would have sent the sending after getting back inside and
So yeah, two
passing
things
over.
of note.
Yeah.
10 minutes have passed, so you'll be getting your response. But also during these conversations, it has become 12:05.
Oh dear. The girl war
Da, da,
started.
The
da.
Grail War started 5 minutes ago.
We're 5 minutes
We
late to
see
the
the
Grail
light.
War, guys.
No, no Starbucks even.
Jeez.
What a
So,
crime.
Albion, she just kind of says to the ceiling, like, are you going to land or are we going to have to figure out how to get down from you?
I
I
have
can't.
no desire to bring all of this through with me, so once we get to the water, I will shake this off, and then I will allow you all to depart, as I will need Morgan's help opening the pathway.
Okay, because I can't be an eagle again, so. What? Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah!
So, if anyone has anything they want to do while we're in the like flying down phase, I'm gonna
Nope.
be replying to your message. So think about that. It'll only take me a second because I already know what the response is gonna be.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah. I think the only thing of
er,
note would be like if Enon saw that town earlier in the very much Einosh dead area, would take note of
Mhm.
it. Because like that is a whole ass
um,
town in that dying area.
Yeah.
you
Sure
know what?
is.
Annis is gonna go look for her cousin.
There you go.
Diana
Where are
is
you
like,
looking?
yeah, where are you looking?
Well, okay, you said that we probably noticed he was in the pantry area last, so Annis
That
is
was the
gonna
last
go
place
look.
he was seen.
Yeah, she's gonna go look over there.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
I'm mostly just trying to kill time. Investigation. I
God
got one more.
damn!
Fair
Your
enough.
cousin bullshittery sense is
I've got the
hitting it.
radar.
You've had to
Yeah.
hone that over years.
Buck is up to no good.
You're the one
Time to,
person who knows where he is all the time.
time to go fuck with Buck.
Funny, that's what his girlfriend.
Oh no.
I don't think he gets laid. I don't want to think about it.
Uh,
Yeah, right. And
Oh,
um,
no thoughts.
yes, sir.
No thoughts in his tiny little brain.
Big
Aw.
kitty,
Little man.
little. We love. We love. Oh no.
Much like Buck, the fact that we don't know where Cleo is kind of
Terrifying.
terrifying.
how many spells on sending?
I find it amazing that after like doing this for a few years, I can just get 25 words without having to count them.
I get so close.
Yeah,
I
it's
get
something that you sort of internalize.
yeah. I'm over here like, please don't tell me I've got do another sending. Like I'm getting low. I'm having to cut my 4th level slots now, which I did for this one.
Yeah.
I gotta take a big long nap after this. Fucking hit the literal hay.
Yeah.
Not metaphorical, baby.
See, while Annis is on the hunt for Buck, Diana is like hopping up and like fiercely trying to like cobble together all the stuff she needs to summon Nimue. I need
Excellent.
this
Good.
little basin and Penelope, give me your jar of water. I mean, I've got my jar of water. That'll work.
Well, I don't know. Like Derek and Aiden are bros. Maybe Aiden wants to go console Derek.
I do actually. It is like the worst part. I do, but like I know you've got a part 2 to talk about. We still have to get through the rest of the list.
No, I don't think that's happening this.
Okay, I thought
I
y'all were
mean, I
trying.
would
I
love
was
it
like,
if it did happen this week, but something tells me.
that was when I finally realized. I was like, wait a minute, I could just do this now, and it fucking felt dumb realizing that. I was like, okay, one more off the list. Um, yeah, Aiden would want to check in with Derek though, if that's okay.
Okay, you've got your response now,
Okay.
so do with that what you will.
Okay. Aiden looks over to the girls and it's just like, all right. Uh statue is in place. It's being warded. He now knows. High alert.
Hmm.
So it has not moved spot. It has not been disturbed.
So it was Inos just fucking with us.
Or
Yeah.
again, just an alternate future where butterfly effect things just hit the fan. Like I yeah. And then he'll walk
Cool.
over to Derek while you're doing your thing and looking for Book.
Okay, so first the buck hunt, since you
Okay.
rolled for it, and
Right.
so yeah, the pantry area, like opening the pantry, you look inside, and it appears to be a pantry of holding. Very Doctor Who-y. It has like an entire like long shelved room full of various food things, enchantments to keep things cold, that seem to still be going. Like there's a lot of nice food in here. Everything seems fresh, everything seems well maintained, and at the far end of the room, you can see there are steps that go down. As part of your investigation, you go and you check those steps, and you find under the room is located a wine cellar.
Yep.
And in this wine cellar, you find Buck looking over very fancy bottles, like very stylized, very interesting. Like some of them are styled to look like different, like basic bottle geometry. Others, though, are completely ridiculous. Like some are shaped like animals, some are shaped like little people, some of them are shaped in weird, borderline non Euclidean things. It seems like this is where all the art bottles are. And as you come down there, he looks up and goes, "Oh, hey, you want anything?"
Yeah, sure.
Got a lot of good stuff down here. I don't know if it's all vinegar by now or if they kept it, but everything else seems to be preserved. It's a bit rich for me. I'm just looking for a cool bottle because, maybe I want to have a summer home.
Of course. Well, I can assure you that if it is actually alcohol, we very easily empty it for you. Pick out whichever one you want, I guess.
I'm kind of partial to this one right now, and he holds up a golden cup.
Oh no.
That's supposed to be a holy grail.
I don't know.
And it's just like
It's pretty though.
reaches out and just grabs a few bottles and just starts stuffing them into her bag of holding.
Sure. I
Seems
mean,
like up until you got, brutally murdered, you were doing pretty fine in the future that Penelope and Diana were talking about.
that's just because none of them were paying attention to what was happening to me. They were all busy with their own shit.
Right. What did happen?
Well, for starters, I um spent a whole lot of the time in like New Camelot looking around for cool shit. Because why wouldn't you? It's Camelot. Like maybe I'll find a sword that makes me the King of England or something. I don't know. Seems like they keep those lying around. But no, I went rummaging. I found like the cool armor and stuff. the really shiny stuff they wear on Sundays to make it so that anybody who looks at them gets blinded by the sun or whatever. But looking around, found some of that. Not very useful for me personally, but it's neat. Um, so spent a little bit of time doing that while everybody was having their hunky dory times, and then I got to see when the attack started. I got sneaky, snuck around, a little bit of stabbing, a little bit of blasting here and there. Tried to avoid getting hit as much as I could. Tried to stay ahead of them. Um, Mostly though, I was trying to figure out what exactly. Well, I being the other version of me, he's very talkative. Can you believe he's talkative? Like that's such a trait. Anyway,
Wow.
um,
No, crazy. I have
I
no.
know, like they can't possibly be exactly like we are. That'd be ridiculous. We already met the ones
Pretty
who were like us,
sure.
except for me because I didn't have a copy. So this is the closest I can get. I didn't get a cool alternate version of me. Um, what?
Right. I'm pretty sure that wasn't actually us, but no, do go on.
Right. So the other version of
Nothing more
me,
bottle.
who tells a great story, and he continues like shoving bottles into bags as he's talking. He um he told me that he got to snoop in and he got to seeing how things were working, and he said that funny thing about the whole butcher bullshit was that every time he did some crazy shit, he tilted his fucking glasses up like he thinks he's some kind of Terminator or something. I don't know. Um, it's weird. Like those sunglass things that he wears. They remind me of the ones in the boat. Like the weird Mystic Eye killers that make Mystic Eyes not do shit. Well, every time he
Hmm.
did that crazy stuff where nobody could cast spells, he seemed to do something with his glasses. So I think maybe that has something to do with it. Seemed neat. And then later on, I was thinking, okay, well, when we go rescue, well, he was thinking again, royal we, royal I, royal book. Um,
Right.
yeah, he was telling me that when the lot of you, well, a lot of them, I guess. I mean, we sort of went out because we had to go find Aiden and go talk to boss lady from across from Waffle House again and all that. But yeah, we were gonna go find Aiden and we were gonna do what we could to like recover him because you can't just have like masters lying around dead. And also we kind of like the horse boy. Like don't let her tell you otherwise. But Diana does like him. He's a nice guy. Um, she just gets kind of tired of his shit sometimes, as we all do, I'm sure. Can't all be
Yeah.
me. But anyway,
Yeah.
um,
Right.
so we were gonna go and we were gonna try to rescue him and get him safe or whatever. And then when future me encountered the weird, I guess it was Clover. I didn't really get to meet him before, but from the description, it sounded like there was a Clover involved. Um, Diana was not happy to see him. Penelope was not happy to see him. Johnny lit him up. That was pretty cool. He just melted right there, like bam, gone. From what I was told. And but anyway, yeah, that other servant thing that popped up, the one that I guess killed Future Bell. Um, I had a lot of trouble seeing him, and trust me, as someone who likes to do the sneaky, sneaky stuff and has looked into invisibility far more than anybody should, for perfectly legitimate reasons, don't worry about it.
Uh-huh.
I am under the impression that usually when you're invisible and you hit stuff, they can see you after that. And this guy seems to be pretty good at staying invisible. And I know that there's probably some kind of magecraft that lets you do this better, but he seemed to be doing this all the damn time. As far as I could tell, he was invisible all the time, and that's why it was hard to make out any details about him. You could only really see him by the splatters that were on him. That's fucking weird. Um, and future me was kind of pissed off that he kind of went out that way and that he didn't die the way that we always assumed we were going to die, which was from, too much sex.
Give it time.
Oh, I'm counting on it. I'm not dying that way. Now that I know one thing to avoid, it's like, yeah, don't get murdered in the mushroom forest by weird invisible blood man.
Yeah.
Seems like a bad way to go, and it apparently was. Um, how
Well,
about
I'm
you?
glad
What
that
happened to
you're.
you? Like, what wasn't future you like didn't go on that little trip, so I don't really know what happened there.
I got stuck in the Tower of Faces with no way out. And I'm not going to let any of that happen.
Yeah, that sounds pretty shitty. Did you like stop poking the little faces till somebody came and got you? What?
So I think the future me just went insane and then passed out from mana headaches and probably died, hopefully.
Oh, that is miserable. Yeah, mine was way faster. Um,
Yeah,
let's not do that. Yeah, maybe keep like a bag of dust hidden somewhere in there just in case. Like in case of
I'm planning on
emergency, sprinkle dust.
it. All right. Well, I'm glad that you are doing okay.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Oh, how about this one? This one's pretty cool. And he holds up a bottle that has a ship in it.
Would if you went in it, would you be on the ship?
I have no idea how that works.
Yep,
Might
fuck it,
might
let's take it.
might have to try that later.
She like grabs one of the bottles and uncorks it and smells to see if it actually is still alcoholic or if it's just turned to.
It is still alcoholic. Everything in here is perfectly preserved.
Okay. Puts the cork back in, shoves it in her bag.
Yeah,
She has picked up quite a number of bags while Buck has, or a number of bottles.
right.
Yeah, sure, why not 16?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
do it. We're back to episode one, Annis, who just takes things.
Right? Full circle.
Gotta go back to your roots.
All right,
Everyone's like, let's
well,
judge Buck like he's the only thief in the family.
Absolutely
where'd
not.
she learn it from, right?
And who
Okay,
taught
well,
Iden? Annis.
Oh, I'm sure that both of them learned a fair bit from the generations that came before them. But yeah, that's where he went. He just snuck off to go rummaging for something to eat, and then he found bottles, and then he got excited at the prospect of new real estate.
Oh my.
He
yeah,
may
cool.
someday get enough levels that he can bring people in with him.
Don't like that.
Heck yes. Sign me
So,
up.
yeah, Ennis is eventually just going to climb back upstairs and return to the party at large.
All
With or
right.
without, don't
Yeah,
care.
he follows her back up once you've loaded up on the goodies.
Wave to Buck.
He waves back.
Check
Okay,
it
so
in, my boy.
you're checking in with Derek. Yeah, Derek
Check
is
in,
as he
boy.
was left, trying not to pay attention to what was going on before. Um, sees Iden. He's like, future sucks, huh?
Yeah. It's pretty rough. But it just means we know what to avoid.
Yeah, my goal is going to be to not get punched through the chest.
You know, kind of like alter self. I've got your back, buddy. I'll put you in a bubble, and apparently you can just run things over. That was pretty damn
I
awesome.
I have a feeling that if you put me in a bubble around that thing, I'm going to get thrown into the sun somehow.
Okay, but hear me out. The sun's a good thing. I am a sun
I don't
catcher
think
after
that
all.
works the I don't think that works the way you think it does.
No, 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 no. Hear me out. You can make your own big enough shadow. I release you from the bubble. You teleport to wherever you want to go.
That has a very
And
short range.
oh, ah.
Yeah, I know. I
Well, then I'll
was
just catch you. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna try not to get punched while taking hits for someone else. As long
And I think that won't be as much of a concern.
as long as Magic Key Guy over there stays Magic Key Guy, then I think we should be fine.
Is he like also nearby? Did
At
he
this
like
point,
get up
no,
enough
he's
way?
he's over at the other end of the room.
Ah, okay, yeah. Are you holding up okay though?
I'm kind of disappointed at the idea that that's how that could end. Like I knew that servants were tough, but that's a whole different level of tough. Like the way
Immortal,
that
unfortunately.
other me described it, it sounds like we couldn't even hurt them, like at all, and that's troubling.
We have to find the weakness. And if we can find that, we can hurt them. It's a work in progress. Got some thoughts, some ideas.
I mean, they're gonna have some
And the
weakness.
moment,
They
oh yeah,
died. At some
all
point,
of
they
them.
died in their story or in real life, so like something's gotta work.
Exactly. The moment I find out, you'll be the first person I tell. And then you can go wacha, full super cool hero on them. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to learn how to punch people with this cool chain thing I have here, and hopefully that will do a little bit better.
What is the cool chain thing that he's got? Is it like a new weapon?
It's a chain that he's wrapped around his fist, and he's shadowboxing with
Oh,
it.
ooh, you've got this. Well, hear me out. I know usually we have like Hoop Wednesdays, and I feel like we shouldn't like let our guard down at all during this whole ordeal. So, like, if we need to spar for a bit, we can do that.
I mean, if you're comfortable with getting punched, I will punch you.
Are you comfortable with getting kicked
Um,
by
I'm
four
comfortable
legs?
with dodging you. I don't think you
I
can kick
mean,
me.
we'll see. We'll see. All right. It sounds like an official, as you like to call it. What was it? The official or secret wrestling society underground stuff?
I don't think it's official, but yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We tell nobody. I'm kidding. We tell everybody. We
They
get the
should
whole
probably
team in
know
on.
because I'm not going to be able
Yeah,
to carry your unconscious ass back by myself. I'm not that strong.
yeah. I think I think we're already in a better direction, and we have each other's backs. That's not going to change, right?
Nope, till the end.
Till the end. And he like does a little fist bump.
Yeah, they fist bump.
Yeah.
Bro
If you need
time.
anything, yeah, you let me know, okay? Like anything. You're my bro.
No, we got this. We're good.
Okay. Okay.
Also, I think the dragon is probably getting tired of us talking on its back.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to, okay, he got to land at some point.
And as you probably assumed, it is currently in the process of setting down outside of your base.
Yay.
So all of you can feel it landing, and then you hear the voice in your head again saying,
Get the fuck off.
"Do you want this on your lawn or do you want it in the water?"
Lawn.
No, we don't want it on the lawn.
Not on my
If
crops.
I mean, if
Oh,
it's on the lawn, then people will see it and they'll be like, "Oh my god, it's."
I guess
That's probably
I guess I can go diving
still
for it.
suspicious.
I guess we
And
can
I
put it
think
in the water.
it'll be fine.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
I can turn into a shark and explore it or something.
Just dunk it in.
I've got all these potions of water breathing from when we were on the Van-Fem boat.
You're right,
because I
Ed.
thought we
Thank
were
you.
going to
Just
have to.
throw it in the water.
Yeah.
All right, you might want to get out first then.
Okay.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
disembark.
Everyone
I
gets out. It takes a while because it's a bit of a walk through Camelot. Um, but you all leave, including Morgan. No barriers stop you. And once you're all out, Morgan walks over to the lake and she pulls out a staff that she's apparently had with her all this time, but you couldn't see it before. It's very hammer spacey. And she taps it on the surface of the water and she says something in a language that is not known to any of you. And the water starts to ripple from where her staff touched it. And when it does, you can see the reflection on the water of the world around you changes such that it has a it's it's the coloration of that weird place that you can see when Aiden does his little trotting around thing.
Yeah.
And those of you who have seen the other side of the world through one means or another can see that it is now reflecting the reverse side of the world. And where you have one Morgan standing on the edge holding a staff here, you see two women who look very similar to Morgan, but in different outfits on the other side. One of them is dressed in a the short version of the description to be more like what you would expect out of like a ranger. Um, it, leather leathers, braided hair. Um, looks like Morgan, but is obvious to those of you who have seen her before. This is like what Nimue actually looks like. This is the clearest shot of her you've ever seen because she's not built out of water. You're just seeing it in the reflection. And next to her is uh, the final sister, Vivian, who is at the moment wearing it looks more like a traditional wizard robe type deal with a hood and everything. She's all mystical. Um, and each of them are holding staves that look similar to Morgan's, but with small differences. And it seems they are doing the same thing that she is from the other side and completing the connection necessary to turn the entire surface of the lake into a portal to the reverse side of the world. With that, Albion looks back to the lot of you, nods, and
Thank
then
you.
flies directly up. And just as Albion reaches the effective dome of the sky above you, Albion does a quick snap down, which separates the whole structure of Camelot from its back and dives deep and fast with a cracking sound and dives through the portal way faster than gravity can pull the city that was on its back down. And once Albion is through it, the ripple of Albion passing into the lake um, disrupts the entire spell, turning it into normal water that Camelot then splashes into, causing a massive wave that soaks all of you.
Yeah.
The ultimate cannonball. And now Camelot is in many pieces at the bottom of your lake.
Yay.
Woo.
The water falls back down like rain as your lake slowly refills itself, but you can see bits and pieces of Camelot sticking out of it at awkward angles. Like unlike the one downstream that was pieces sitting on top of it. In this case, nope, just ruins of Camelot sticking out. Got little church steeples in some places. You've got like ruined boards that have somehow survived this long, just sort of floating in spots. Like it's a mess, but it's there in
Gotcha.
your lake.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it looks like we've got some cleaning up to do, but we can do that later.
It's fine.
Yep.
It'll be fine.
Let's get inside.
And it's just like pulls out her cleansing stone, just instant dries off the boys, dries off Aiden,
That's.
does not
Did
dry off
you
Buck.
did you see like there were? Did you see them in the portal?
I did, yeah.
Is the portal still open?
No.
No, it closed before the.
Ah,
It closed
dang
when
it.
Albion went through it, yeah.
Oh. Okay, I guess Diana's gonna have to reach out to Nimue then and be like,
Mm-hmm.
get your ass over here.
That's
Yeah,
right. Make that call. Here we
Ah.
go.
But yeah, she's gonna be like, it's like we saw them right through the water. Like that's the first time I've ever seen them. Like
Oh.
not water.
Oh.
And Diana is just like, she's completely speechless right now. She's just like pointing at the water and just She's bright red, just like, oh my god, that was my wife.
That was HD version.
HD. No, it wasn't even HD. It was the
It was
real thing.
4K. 4K.
Listen,
8K.
it's 2005. You're still arguing whether or not HD DVD is gonna win.
You know, that's fair.
Rocking that
Yeah.
720p.
Ooh.
At most.
So yeah, Diana's just gonna be like, all right, if we don't have anything else we need to do right this very second, I need to go make not a phone call, but you know what I mean.
The only thing I want to do, I don't know what I want to do, and it's just heads inside the base.
Fair.
Yeah, Item will follow behind. He'll let her know, or I guess all of them. It's like, I'm gonna try and gather information. I gotta figure out about the whole magic ordeal situation. I'm gonna.
It's like just after midnight now, right?
It's just a little
Yeah.
bit after midnight. By now, it's probably like 12:15. Like,
We can
you were pretty close
reconvene.
when we updated the clock before.
We can reconvene for breakfast. We have a lot to discuss.
Okay, so hold off stuff until the morning. Is saying.
Either that or we can talk all night.
I let's get some rest. If it's something where we're all kind of worried about it, like we can have somebody, like each of us stay up in shift so that we can all get some rest. But like somebody's at least making sure
Okay.
things are safe, since I guess this whole thing is starting now.
Yep.
Double checking because I can't remember when we talked to when I sent or talked to Hemlock brought over the paper. Hemlock
Oh,
and I guess
is
we
Hemlock
did.
at the base
No,
or not?
no.
Okay.
You got back here way before they finished what they're doing.
Okay.
Okay, so we did in fact send them off on the mission while the butcher was out of
Yeah.
Yes.
his. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. So Iden's gonna stay up until
hmm
they make it back. Like he's not sleeping, so he'll stay on guard. He's gonna let them know, like, hey, I'll stand duty with Inan. If y'all want to sleep, that's fine. I'm gonna wait for Lupin and Catherine here
Right.
and Nina.
I'm tired, but can't sleep.
Mm, You want to? You look like you have more to say. Or
Oh, you're cutting out.
I do have more to say.
well, then if you can't sleep, why not get out of the way?
Yeah.
It's just you don't have.
Right.
No, I'm going to bed. I need sleep. Diana, it looks like she's about to froth at the mouth trying to summon pneumonia.
Right.
I'm not frothing at the mouth. What are you talking? You're frothing.
I don't know. I
Got
see
a
a
crazy
little
look in
foam.
your eye.
So obviously the Lupins aren't there. Is
Right.
Kwaku
Yeah.
there? Is he like? Does he come? Or the Goliaths? Do they come out at all? Or
They came out after a cracking
That's
sound followed by a blast of water happened. Yeah. Like
how y'all.
like whether or not they were asleep before, the cracking
Mhm.
sound of a dragon that size flying down, and then the noise of a city dropping into a lake.
Mhm.
Yeah, that got their attention.
Mm.
Um,
No one else is there.
um, like Kwaku, the Goliaths, like Raps, not really a lot
Mhm.
more. Like they're kind of who was
Mhm.
still here
Mhm.
at the moment. I don't, unless there's someone I'm forgetting. I think that was
No.
who's still here. Uh,
Okay.
just
Ernest is just happy to
checking.
see them safe and in one piece.
Yep, they are all safe and alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go to my room. I will be there.
Okay. I'm Gonna go to my room. Actually, no. I'm not going to my. I'm gonna get Morgan settled in somewhere in the base.
That's a good point. Or put Morgan. The instrument room, the war room.
So once Nina and Yer come back, like I'm immediately sending them out. So that room will open up. Yeah. So that'll absolutely open up if she needs it. Or especially since she has to do checkups on her. So I mean, it's right there.
Diana will just like interrupt for a second, and she'll be like, I mean, she can have my room for the night so we can figure this out. Like, I'm not sleeping yet.
Well,
so.
and she just woke up from a 1,000-year nap, so I don't think she's going to want to sleep either. But what do I know?
But I'll help her get settled inside. Like, even if she doesn't sleep for the night, like, I'll figure that out. And then Diana, well, if she's going to use my room, then yeah. And she's just bolting straight to her room and shutting the doors.
Yeah, Aiden will say goodnight to Morgan and just be like, hopefully we can talk again tomorrow at some point. But he's gonna give her space for the moment.
Yeah, I'm thinking about maybe not immediately because I need to get a sense of what I can and can't do down here on the amount of mana around, but gotta kind of get my land legs and then see if there's a way that I can maybe at least dig my room out of that. Gestures over at the water. Might just install it somewhere.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
In the meanwhile, I've been sleeping for a long time. You lot look exhausted. Get your rest where you can. For those of you that are staying up late, do what you gotta do. Not your mom.
But I know your mom. I'm just
Okay, well, I mean, if you need anything, you know where I'll be.
I do. Yep, get some rest. Everyone sleep up. If any monsters come, I will let you know before I kill them.
She's also just gonna give Morgan a big hug and be like, I'm glad you're finally awake.
It is a nice change of pace. Got to get used to linear time again. Dreams are a bit of a special place where you just skip around a lot.
Yeah. I mean, and this is something I need to talk to you about later, but I'll help you out. Don't worry.
I'll be here. And she walks out. Once you get back inside, she walks out onto the inside water where your boat sits.
Mm-hmm.
Not that your boat is here right now, but where your boat would be sitting. And she just sort of casually walks out on the water and then shifts her feet up and down on the ball of her feet and goes, still sturdy. That's good. And proceeds to wave her hand on the little dock thing to make a hut similar to the hut that Vivi makes. And she goes into it, and you can see through the doorway that she has a giant 10-foot wide bed in there.
Oh my god.
And she's like, not going to sleep, but oh, walking is new again. And she lays down on it and pulls out a book.
Oh, jeez.
Penelope, roll perception if you can.
Okay.
God, is she reading the Merlin smut?
Please.
Yeah,
21.
that looks suspiciously like a book you've seen with Annis before.
Oh, hey, Annis, isn't that the book you've
Annis
read?
is in her room.
Oh.
Or like lingering near the
Oh,
doorway.
never mind. She'd be like, oh, I think that's the book that Annis was reading. Oh.
The one that's
Oh, no.
on the shelf back at her shop. She did not bring
Um,
that into the end.
I'm not going to touch that. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, this is a weird one. I've been meaning to check it out for some time. My understanding is that Merlin likes to slip things into the world,
Oh
passive
no.
aggressive little shit.
Annis read it. She seemed
I'm,
to like it.
that's how I know what it looks like.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
After she skims over it for a little bit, she waves her hand over and it disappears. Maybe later.
I'm sending one more sending as well because I realize it's kind of really fucking important.
Ooh.
I guess if the if both of her boys don't look like they're going to come meet her in her room of their own volition, strong arm them, shove them in.
I mean, Derek goes there because it's also Derek's room.
Yeah, that's true. It sure is.
Freddie does not go there because it's also Derek's room.
Strong arm that boy.
All right, well, I need to talk to both of you. So, and she just finds Freddie, drags him.
He puts up minimal resistance, like a token amount of resistance, but not serious resistance.
Shuts the door. I think this place is soundproof. Okay, all right. I need you both to listen to me. God, what my future self told me scared me so much. I need to say some things, and I need to do it before I lose my nerve. There is no easy way to do this. I'm going to ruin everything. This is so okay. I will start with boy, this is hard. I don't want to see anything bad happen to either of you. You're both very important to me. And I kind of involved you both in this extremely dangerous Grail War. So if anything did happen to you, I don't think I could take the guilt. And I need to say this before it's too late, in case the butcher's servant kills you again. But that won't happen. That won't happen because we're going to change things. She like takes a second to calm herself down. All right, look. I'm in love with both of you. Derek, every single day since I met you at that alley in France, I've fallen a little bit more in love with you. And Freddie, I tried so hard, but I just never got over you. I really tried. I thought I was cursed or insane or something because I just couldn't let the feelings go. And when Yalta said that you still have feelings for me, I was kind of relieved because at least you're crazy too if I'm crazy. And if this is too weird or something, oh, neither of you have to stay, neither of you have to say anything. No matter what, I'm going to do everything I can to help you with this dead apostle bullshit, Freddie and Derek. I will do everything I can to keep you safe, and I know you'll both do everything you can to keep me safe. Oh, and okay, and that's it. I I'm not. I can't choose. It's impossible. There's no way for me to choose. So I'm not going to. I'm not going to choose. Um. You both know me. There's enough room in my heart for both of you, and I have two hands, so that's it. That's what I had to say. You can leave now if you need to.
They're staring at you, and then they're staring at each other, and then they're staring at you again, and Derek is, he looks like he's trying to find some words right now, and while Derek is trying to find his words, Freddie speaks up first, and he says, I feel like I need to find out who I am before I'm ready for anyone else. And before anyone can say anything, he walks out of the room.
Uh, it's about how I thought that would go.
And Derek uh, takes a look over at Annis again now that Freddy's gone, and then he just says, so is it a love triangle if I don't love Freddy?
More like a V shape. I don't
Uh,
expect you to. I think under different circumstances, you two would be friends. You'd have a lot of the same interests. You have
I mean,
impeccable
he's
taste in women.
like he's really cool, and like I know he's kind of a dick, but he's a really cool dick, you know?
Like
I
Dick
mean,
Grayson.
you're not. I mean, don't sell yourself short. You're really cool too.
Oh, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm awesome. I have like a scarf and stuff, but like he's got the whole vampire thing going, and he has swords that he throws, and
I mean, we're trying to fix the vampire thing.
do we have to? It's so cool.
Like how it sounds like he's the forlorn lover right now.
I
We have to. He's perfect the
mean,
way he is.
like,
He's in this really awkward spot of spending his entire life trying to be Batman, and then he finds someone who accidentally the whole Batman, and now he doesn't know what to do with himself.
It's okay, Derek. We love you.
Like Derek is too happy to be Batman, but he still likes
oh
the idea
yeah,
of Batman. It kind of is like Nightwing meeting Batman kind of stuff. Um, Derek is way better adjusted though. But yeah, he's like, look, I think he's gonna need to figure out his stuff. I would be a liar if I said that I was like all on board for some thing that will eventually be called a throuple, but we're in 2005, so it's not that yet. Um,
yeah.
and I just,
I don't know what I was thinking.
I think we all are trying to figure out what's going on right now, and like he's gonna be here with us. I'm gonna be here with you. We're all gonna have a little bit of time to think this through and see where we end up. I think that we're gonna see where things fall. Like, I'm not going anywhere, and I've got to figure some of this out for myself too. Like, I'd be a liar if I said that I didn't think that maybe he was obviously on your mind from the moment that he came back in. Things were obviously a little bit more complicated. I haven't known you that long, but you've been the center of my world since we got here, and I'm really glad that that whack job shot my limousine and I got to meet you.
I am too. I mean,
But
I'm not glad that your limousine got
oh, it's
shot.
fine. I mean, why have a limo if you don't let it get shot, you know? I mean, that's just how you know you made it. But um, I just think that we're all going to need some thinking time. For all I know, by the end of this, um, we'll all be right there together and it'll be great. Or maybe we'll learn a bit more about who we are as we go. But I think he's glad that you still care about him. I'm glad you still care about me. I'm not sure where we're going to end up, but at least you put it out there, and now everyone knows where we're at least to the extent that we know.
Yeah. And I'm not going to let anything happen to anyone at all. Fuck the butcher. Fuck his stupid servant. I'm not letting that bad future happen. It's not happening.
We've already changed some of it. I'm sure we can change the rest of it. I also don't think I'd make some of the choices that the other me made, and I don't think you would either.
Candidly, I don't think that those were actually future versions of ourselves. For one, mine never once referred to my servant by her true name, even though she should have known it.
Not really sure what to make of it. I've read enough comic books about this kind of thing to assume that this is maybe just something that's meant to give us an idea of what could happen while the stakes are still relatively low. I don't know. Get Penelope to talk to her boss.
Well, I am definitely not going to be sleeping. I want to go hang out with Aiden.
I don't think Aiden's going to be sleeping until his family gets back, and I feel like if we are all tired, we're going to die. So
Good point.
we might need to do some shifts or something. Like this thing just started, which means that anyone who is waiting now has their window to attack us, right? Like we've got two
Right.
masters right here, so
Yeah,
yeah.
but nobody except for the butcher even knows where this base is. I mean, a dragon just dropped a castle in the lake, so that's probably alerted some people. Hmm.
Yeah, we're not very subtle.
I will sleep eventually, probably. Gonna go keep watch.
Yeah, go for it.
Sure,
I'll
sure.
get my energy up while I can. And when we get to tomorrow, we can have awkward breakfast.
We always do.
And that is where we are stopping tonight.
Ah,
Pain!
No Diana
Pain!
booty call.
look, I need to know.
Listen,
Like,
Diana booty call may or may not happen. It will not be happening on screen.
Bet.
I just need to know if she's able to get in contact with her.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she's not letting you go to the voicemail.
Hee
Yeah. I will tell you how that goes later, but that can be off
Yay!
screen. Because
Yeah.
Yay!
Diana wanted her privacy, and we are going to respect that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, I think that was productive. Coming down from
Yay.
before, we have
No, productive is the word.
we
I've
have
had that. I've had that planned for so long, and I still deviated from the script.
damn right. That's what the game is.
Facts.
Every now and then I find my original notes for how this game is going to work, and they're very funny to me.
Yeah.
I will share them with everyone when the game is over.
Yay.
Yeah, so that'll be it for this week. Next week we will resume. You're between now and then, try to think about what you as a group want to do next, keeping in mind that your larger party was put together so that you could go get Morgan. So you will
Mhm.
probably not have as large of a party going forward, and also you have a little bit of a glimpse of something that could be happening within a few days, but under different circumstances. And
Yeah.
you at least know where one enemy servant could show up given proper attention. So think about that, and you can have your war room when we get back.
Woo!
Hooray!
Yay.
Good night, the internet.
Good
Good
night.
night, nerd.
Good night.